tends to make the website perform a little bit better while we're on Zoom. So super informal. We'll probably hold the questions till the end. You can leave them in the chat. And then we'll look at it at the end and answer all those. If there's anything we don't get to or anything you think of after we're done, my email is just brooks@vivetool.org. So you can just shoot me an email and I'm happy to answer any questions or set up a time to have a call if that's an easier way to do it. So I'm just going to jump right in. This is our redesigned website. So we put a lot of thought and a lot of time and a lot of our resources into redesigning our website to highlight player achievement, right? I mean, you guys play in a ton of our events. We cover your scout days. You should be familiar with us by now, but what we're known for is our social media coverage. And what we've been able to do here is really take that content that we capture at scout days and at our events and centralize it into one location for you to use for a variety of different things. For if your son's a pro prospect, to show pro scouts. If he's a college prospect, to show college scouts. If he's just fighting to make varsity, highlight his achievements for his high school coach, right? This is not something designed just for the top players. This is designed for everybody. And we're really proud of the product that we came up with here. So I'm just going to jump in and start showing the features. You know, you'll see on this homepage right here, we published some scout notes from the Scout League that started this last week. And so several players will be mentioned in these articles, and that will also be tagged to their profile if they're mentioned there, which I'll show you here shortly. The main feature of the website, or I'll say two main features: the player profiles, which is what I'm going to start with, and then this section in the center here, which is called the line. What the line allows you to do is basically create a customized feed to follow only players that you're interested in seeing highlights from. So you do that by following individual players, high schools, select teams, colleges, and during our events, you can follow an event and you would only get highlights from those individual players from the high schools that you follow, players that are on the select teams that you follow, players that are committed to the colleges you follow. And then if you follow an event, you would get every highlight from that event. So anyways, I'm going to start with the player profiles though, and I'll show you an example of each of those things, and then we'll come back to the line towards the end. So I don't know if Brock or his parents are on this call, but I'm going to brag on him a little bit. So Brock was one of our first purchasers, and they have done just a fantastic job with his profile. I think I count 31 videos here. And you know, basically we're uploading everything that we're capturing in our events, and then everything that we got at the scout day this week, right? So you'll see the infield velo highlights, outfield velo. I think we did exit velo on him. We posted his 60. We have our videos up here that we had dating all the way back to 2021, just videos from our events or from high school games that we went to. But what they did is exactly what we hope this will look like for players. They took video during the high school season, and at the games that we weren't at, this is a game that we were at, and he had an awesome hit. I think we had an awesome diving play on here as well. But when they were not at the events, they were filming and they uploaded his highlights on here as well through YouTube. So he just got some really awesome stuff. And when he sends this to a college coach, it's going to be a nice snapshot of him as a player, right? Because you're going to have 31 videos for them to look at, all centralized into one place. So from a video perspective, this is exactly what we were hoping would happen with these profiles. So I'll start the videos are the main feature, obviously. And we will upload all videos from the scout day. We're going to be covering a lot of the, 12 events here this summer. Any highlights we get from that will be uploaded. Any highlights from our events will be uploaded. And then anything that you guys upload yourself will display right on here. You do that by uploading the video to YouTube or Vimeo and then uploading them here to the profile. The other option you have is you can actually upload tweets directly to the page as well. I'll show you guys some example of that here in a little bit. But what we're really hoping we can do here is create an overall picture of a player. And when you have a premium profile, this column right here is hidden and your birthday is hidden, but everything else is public. So when you send this to a college coach, he can go straight here and just watch video after video after video. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the feedback we've gotten from the college coaches here in a little bit, but being able to centralize all that stuff in one place has them very happy. It just kind of makes it nice and easy for them to view that. But I think one of my favorite thing about it is just how interactive these profiles are. So, Brock goes to Cinco Ranch. So if I'm interested in the players from Cinco Ranch, I click on the high schools page, and this is going to be a roster of all the players in our system that go to Cinco Ranch, including alumni. So what you'll see here is, a bunch of players, some that you're familiar with, some that you're not. If they're committed, it'll show the college that they're committed to right here. And I'm going to click to that more here in a minute. Up here, you'll see Coach Wallace has a profile. So when a high school coach or a college coach has a profile, we tag that to their page. And so they can come on here and follow players. And what a lot of them are doing is they'll follow their own school. And then on their main page, on their line that I briefly showed you earlier, any highlights that get uploaded from their players will automatically go to their line. So they're seeing that all centralized in one place. So just very interactive. And, you may I think one of the things I would have used it for when I was young is when I'm in the summer, I would want to see all the highlights for my buddies who are playing with other select teams. And so, you follow your high school, and then on your page, you're getting only, all highlights from your buddies. And then vice versa. When you get to the high school season, I would have wanted to follow my buddies from my select team. So same thing, you can follow your select team and you'll get all the highlights during the high school season from those guys. I'll just quickly go to, so, again, you can click to Lucas's profile. You'll see we have a bunch of highlights here of him. Maybe this was that diving play I was thinking of earlier. The videos play right on the page, nice and clean. I think, when you upload the tweets, it's a little bit smaller. They still play right on the page, but it's just nice and clean in the video player. So we recommend doing the YouTube or Vimeo route so you can get those on the actual video player. But also interactive here. So I see he's committed to TCU. If I want to see all of TCU's commits, I can click there, and this is going to be everybody in our database that is committed to TCU. Now, we're working with the colleges to make sure we have these lists accurate. I would say that we're going to have 95 to 98% of the Texas players and really all the players in the Southwest region on here. If they commit a kid from Chicago or something like that, may not be a kid that we have in our events, but we'll add a profile for him. And then, hopefully at some point we see him and can get some video on him. But we want to make these lists as accurate as possible. And I think, for you guys, one thing I'd use it for is if you're thinking about committing to a school, it gives you a chance to go on here and see who else they have committed. And we have all the junior colleges on here, D1, D2, D3. We're really trying to make these lists as comprehensive as possible and not only focus on the top players, but everybody, because this is really a tool for everybody. You'll see right here. So their staff has a profile. John DeLora was the one who signed up for it. One thing that's cool, and we're telling players to do, if you're interested in a school, you can go and follow their staff. So you would follow Coach DeLora's account. On the back end of his login, that creates a nice list for him to see of the players that are interested in TCU. And he can just start clicking on those profiles, boom, 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 and start watching videos. So that's the way we're telling you to indicate interest in a school to these coaches. And I'll go through the list in a little bit of all the schools that we already have on here. But we launched this in January and got, a good chunk of the schools in this region have scout packages already. And I would just tell you, when we've zoomed and shown them this, we are batting 1,000. The only reason some of these schools aren't on here so far is because we launched in January, right as their season was starting, and we just haven't had a chance to show this to everybody. But we anticipate that, and that goes for junior colleges too. I mean, that's all up and down the spectrum of schools that you'd be interested in, including major league teams. We have a couple major league teams on here that are using it as well. So it's just been really well received by them, and I'll continue to show you some of the reasons. But the line works the same way as it does on the high school page. So this is kind of a cool thing. You may just be a fan of a school, and this tab right here will be only highlights from players that are committed to TCU. And again, it just plays right on the page. So, this will be things that we are uploading. And then again, like I mentioned earlier, things that the players are uploading themselves, but just gives you a chance to kind of drown out the noise and focus in on the things that you really want to see, right? If you're a TCU fan, you can come on here and just check out highlights from their commits. And then this database of past commits will continue to grow over time. Most of their current roster that we had in our system at least will be on here already, but you see we already rolled the 2023s over, so we'll just continue to roll these over and just be kind of a fun little thing you can click and see highlights from these guys as they start performing really well in college baseball or in the professional ranks. You can still go to their profile and watch their highlights. I'm going to, let's see here. I think, not surprising, but Blake Mitchell has an awesome profile that kind of highlights some other features that we have. So for you guys that have played in our events, we do hitter of the game, player of the game, pitcher of the game, and we just added a hot list badge here. So anytime a player earns one of those in one of our events, and I would assume we'll do those for the 12v12 games that we're going to be covering, that'll get posted here, and you can click and see the games that it's from. And then these icons right here are kind of the more high-end achievements is what we're calling them. So Blake's in our 5 till 55. He was the MVP of the Pudge, area code 2 times. He was first team all summer, and he's on our 90s list. And so anytime a player accomplishes one of those more high-end achievements, that'll get posted to your profile as well. And this is a good example I'll show you right here of the Twitter feature. So, you've got all of the videos that we've got on Blake right here. And then down here, these are videos that were uploaded directly from Twitter, and they'll just play. Like I said, it's small. I'm zoomed out pretty far, but you can full screen it and it'll just play right on the page. So for those who are less inclined to upload to YouTube or Vimeo first, you can, tweet out a video and simply copy and paste it right there. But again, I'll just reemphasize that every video that we get in our events or that we get when we're out covering you guys will automatically be uploaded to this video player right here. And then, you can go ahead and check out there's a page for each select team as well. And these look a little different. I would envision in the next couple of months, this will look a little more similar to what those high school pages look like, but it works the same way. I mean, you're going to have a line down here. If I follow 12 Maroon, then I'll start getting these highlights on my line. Same thing if I follow TCU or I follow Cinco Ranch, it's easy as clicking that button, and then I'll start getting those highlights. Player profiles work the same way. If I want to follow Braden, I just click follow. And now on that home page, I'm going to get all of his highlights as they come through. Maybe now is a good time to kind of show you that feature. So on the home page, when you sign in, you're going to see this all activity tab, and I'm not sure how useful this is going to be to anybody because you guys are familiar with how often we tweet videos, and then imagine kind of combining all of our regional accounts with things that people are uploading themselves. I mean, this weekend, this thing was turning over every 20 seconds, basically. But as I said, you can follow players, high schools, select teams, and colleges, and then you'll get just highlights from the guys you follow. So I follow the University of Texas, so I get Lane Allen highlights because he's committed to Texas. And yeah, same thing here. Colin Valentine's is a Texas, former Texas player, I guess. And so I'm getting all his highlights here. One other thing I'll show you guys that'll be useful in particular because we're just coming off the Scout Days. So we did testing within the Scout Days. The videos that we're going to upload have been uploaded. this week, or we're going to shoot to do it this week, we will input all of those metrics into our database. And then all of the 12 players will start populating these leaderboards if they hit the threshold. And it's kind of, the college coaches are liking this because you can sort this by position, class, and state. So if guys looking for, 2025s from Texas, it'll generate a new leaderboard. And then I use Sean's profile as an example a lot. We did an event out in Hawaii back in December where we were kind of testing all these things out. And this is what that will look like. So when we upload the metrics, it'll show on the player profiles as well. And this is a snapshot in time. So, we'll be working with you guys, and I'm sure, back next year doing more testing. And a coach can come on here, a player's profile, and check and see how their athleticism has improved year over year, or every 6 months, however often we do testing. And, I think this is just kind of a good example of exactly what we were looking at early, hoping to do, right? I mean, we're going to have, as we do scout days, open side BP session for you guys. We have the exit velos, we have the infield velos, and those videos that pop up here. But what we're really known for is our in-game highlights, right? And so, it just kind of gives you a chance to see, I think some of the other options you guys have out there for profiles like this, maybe a little more focused on the scout day aspect. But we really feel like what's more useful to the coaches is seeing game highlights. And so we kind of hope to house both of those things together in one spot. As I mentioned earlier, you can you just copy and paste this link to a college coach, and they can, if you have a premium profile, they can view all these right from that page. It displays really well on mobile. Some of the feedback we got, I remember we were talking to Tennessee, and they were talking about how, when they're doing recruiting, they have a group chat, and they basically, have to send individual tweets. And, some coaches are older than others. Some are more up to date with the times than others. And you guys see your kids' Twitter accounts, right? I mean, they're retweeting their buddies' highlights. They're, just tweeting about things that aren't baseball related. And what the coaches have really liked about this is it's just right in your face. All the highlights are right here. They don't have to scroll through Twitter. They don't have to click a bunch of different links. They can send this to each other and boom, just start watching highlights from the same browser, click to the ones you're interested in and hit play. And it's as simple as that. See, I'll just highlight a couple other things here on the main page. We've got these latest news. I mentioned that earlier. The 12 notes that Dustin wrote for this weekend are on here. This top uncommitted spotlight list is another list that we have put together, and that Dustin will continue to update throughout the summer as he sees players that need to get an extra look. I see Houston Tomlinson's on here, and Brock. And then anytime a player commits, they go into our latest commit section here, and you can kind of click here and see the school that they committed to. And then these metrics that we're inputting will pop up for monthly leaders as well. So you guys will start seeing some of your players pop up here as we get those inputted. And then some of these other kind of trending items here are just based on clicks. So, Westlake High School and Rockwall are the ones that are getting the most clicks, and their kids are coming to watch it more. And then, same thing for the colleges and trending teams. So I think those are the main highlights. There are some other features. Dad, I'll just kind of have you jump in if there's anything that I missed, and then we can talk about pricing.
Yeah. So one thing that I want to make sure everybody understands, the reason that we added the ability to upload your tweets and the ability to upload Vimeo and YouTube videos is we want this to be a full picture of the player. And we understand that, teams and players don't exclusively play in our events. And so, if a kid does something outstanding in a PBR or a perfect game event, I mean, we want the player to be recognized for that. Now, we can't go and upload PBR videos or perfect game videos because of copyright issues. So we wanted to create a tool and a mechanism for the players to be able to do that. And what this does is it basically creates the ability for the player to manage his own resume. And so, if he's a premium subscriber, he comes in here and he can send the URL of his videos to any college coach in the country. any professional scout in the country. And even if that school is not subscribed, they'll still be able to see his videos. So we wanted to just make sure that we had something. We had all this tremendous content on all these great players over the years, but we had no really way to house it other than being able to go in and, like Brooks was saying, do a bunch of research in regards to trying to scroll through all the social media stuff. So basically what we did is we created a way for the college coaches, the players, the fans, everybody involved to drown out a lot of the social media noise and have a place to go and see what's going on inside of amateur baseball. And so, the 12 always play in our high-end events, the Bregman, the Pudge, the Mattingly, the Max Muncy. And, as a subscriber, you can also go in there and just follow the line for that specific event. And so all you're going to get are just videos on that event that you're actually watching. You're not seeing, if you're up in Melissa playing in that event, you're not seeing what's going on in South Texas or what's going on in some other part of the country. You can drown out the noise to just see what's going on. And a lot of the feedback we've gotten from the college coaches is that we have so much activity going on with the number of high-end teams playing in our stuff. It's great for them to be able to go back to the hotel that night. They can only watch one game at a time. If they're at Melissa, maybe two, and go back and see and capture what they missed. So we really want to encourage you guys to work through the club, because you also need to make sure that you're very, very smart about what you put on there and putting stuff on there that's going to highlight the player's skills and abilities, because, there's a place for almost every kid that wants to play collegiate baseball. Now, it may not be at Vanderbilt, and it may not be at some of the places that you dream of when you're younger, but, this game changed my life. And I know it's why Kevin and his crew do this, because the game changed their lives. There's a place for players to go play and keep playing the game of baseball. And what I will tell you about that is it creates huge opportunities for these young men. They're going to last them a lifetime. The game of baseball teaches you so much about life because you have to learn how to deal with failure. But the great thing about it, it doesn't matter whether you go play at Texas or you go play at Blinn or you go play at Angelo State. That's going to be on that young man's resume for the rest of his life. And I can tell you, I was a below average Division I player, but I can tell you it was a talking point in every job interview I ever had. And it just creates tremendous opportunities. It's going to develop relationships. They're going to impact these guys' lives and create opportunities for them for the rest of their lives. So I'm all for, I hope they all play on television someday, but not all get to. But if they have a chance to stay around this game just one more year, wherever it is, it's going to create great opportunities for them to advance them in their lives. And, I say this all the time and it sounds corny, but, I'm a product of it. This game, it makes you a better husband. It makes you a better father. It makes you a better employee, and it makes you a better man, because you have to learn how to deal with adversity to survive in this game. And it's not much different than what we encounter in life. So we're excited about the tool. Some of the schools Brooks may cover that have already signed up: Texas A&M, LSU, Sam Houston State, Rice, Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Baylor. We've got Blinn, McLennan, Grayson, just all aspects. When we've showed this to them, the guys have really liked the functionality and they think it's going to help them do a good job as well.
Yeah, maybe I'll jump in and just read the full list. So far, as of the last time I checked, it was Vanderbilt, TCU, Rice, Baylor, DBU, Missouri, A&M, LSU, OU, UTA, Wichita State, Abilene Christian, Sam Houston State, McLennan, Monmouth, Yavapai, Pima, Heston, TCS, and then the Diamondbacks and Rangers. And we've got yeses from Texas Tech and Kansas and Tennessee as well, but they have not purchased yet. And like I said, really, we want the top schools on for sure, but we really think and priced it in a way where junior colleges, D2s and D3s should be able to easily afford the scout packages as well. But those are really the schools that have probably helped more by this. Texas and A&M are going to get kind of the top guys, and a lot of times they know who those guys are. This, I think, makes it easier for them to follow those guys and how they're doing. But really the goal is to get as many schools as possible on here rather than just kind of the top guys. So, and maybe maybe that's a good time to talk about price. So for a premium player profile, it's $7.99 a month or $86.99 a year. So that's going to be, cheaper than some of the, I think pretty much all of the other options out there that kind of do something similar. And, we think this gives you a lot more than what you get with some of those other ones, because you kind of have much more control over what your resume can look like, right? And the videos that get posted. Our goal, particularly for you guys, because we do so much stuff with you, is to have so many videos posted to your profile that you're deleting them and only keeping the ones you like. I mean, that really is the goal. We want to just, flood you guys' profiles with as many videos as possible. But I think, that's what's a little bit different, and what we think is a little bit better is just the focus on game highlights and really giving you the chance to centralize your game highlights along with the stuff we did in the Scout Day this last week. Anything else on that?
No, and Brooks, talk about, this pricing. I mean, we're 30% less than the other guys in the industry with, quite a bit more functionality. And, on the Scout package, we're less than half. And the reason that we did that is because we wanted to be able to, reach the Division II schools, the Division III schools, the junior colleges that don't have the budgets. I mean, we had one Division I school that at this price wanted to buy 5 years in advance just so they didn't have to renew. The other thing that we've done on the Scout end of it is we've limited it to only verified college coaches and professional scouts. So, we don't have it set up. We did that for privacy reasons, where, everybody's information is not running around out there and maybe used for the wrong reasons. So and I don't know, we've probably turned down, Brooks, 20 people that have tried to buy the Scout package that we couldn't verify that they were with a university or professional organization. But we want this to be about recruiting and to be about the kids and to be about the right things. And that's why we priced it the way we did. The response has been very, very positive. And, we soft launched in January. We tried to get as much content as we could going throughout the spring season. And now with our summer season going, we've got a process in place that every video that we capture that we've been sending out on Twitter or saving for Instagram or Facebook automatically goes to the profile. So, a lot of the heavy lifting is being done for you and the players. And we just wanted to, find a way for you guys to capture it. And, worst case scenario, you got, a video album of your son right in there with all the stuff that he's done from, the time he's 15 till the time, and we've been shocked at the number of college players that we've gotten. I think with what's going on with the transfer portal, we've had a lot of college players that have started coming in here, and uploading their videos as well.
And, maybe I kind of skipped over this earlier, but I mean, this basically functions like a social media platform where you have followers here that you can see. The college coaches will also follow you, and you will see which college coaches are following you. But no one else will see that. You have to be logged in to see that. And that was kind of one of the first questions every college we talked to asked you, was like, hey, nobody's going to see the guys I'm following, right? Because I don't want, name whatever school is notorious for sniping kids in their region. I don't want that school knowing who I'm following. So yes, that's hidden, but if they're following you, you will see it. And these videos, when they get posted, I mean, you can like and comment on them just like it's Twitter or Facebook. So I've been pleasantly surprised how many people we do have commenting on these. I kind of didn't think people would use it that much, but it's definitely been a nice surprise. And maybe just kind of a couple of little specific details about the premium profile. So whether you have one or not, this information right here will be hidden. No one will see your phone number, email address, or your academic info except for those verified coaches. And like Dad said, I mean, we are very serious about verifying those. There is not a single person that gets access to a scout package if we don't know 100% for sure that they're with a pro team or a college. And same with birth dates. Those birth dates are hidden also. The website became functional in January, but we had access to it in September. So what you're going to see when you go to your son's profile is videos that we have from that point forward, from September forward. However, if you buy a premium profile, we will go back and backload all of the videos that we have ever captured on him to his profile. Now, I will just be very candid. You guys might be the last ones that get that offer because we've had so many registrations lately. It's straining our team here a little bit, but you have my word. Anybody from the 12 that gets one of these, we will go backload your videos and your player of the game badges as well. So that whenever somebody signs up, we make sure that all of their old videos are up, and then all of their player of the game, hitter of the game, and pitcher of the game badges get uploaded as well. And to claim, you'll just go to your players page and click this yellow button that says claim this profile. If you have an email entered, what it'll show is kind of like this, where it blacks out a lot of what that email is. But if you just type whatever the email that you have on file is in and click claim now, it'll send you the claim email with a link that you can click and then go purchase the profile. If you do not have an email in here, you can just click claim this profile and it will tell you to enter the email address that you want to use. And then it sends me an email, and I'll either go on Twitter or reach out to you directly to verify that this is actually that person that's requesting the email. So we're taking the security of these profiles very seriously. And so if you have to do that second option, then you'll hear from me before I release it, unless I can find somewhere in our system where we have that on file.
Hey,
and I would just encourage you for sure. There's a free option also. The free option basically just lets you update this information because we want to make sure that this gets updated as well. There's no reason for you not to at least go claim for free and update this information. But with the premium, all your videos get unlocked to the public. And like I said, we'll go backload your profile, and there's just some other things. I think one of the other things I'll say is, we obviously, again, familiar with our events, you kind of know what's a highlight that gets uploaded versus doesn't. But what we've kind of told our video guys is like, hey, if these are the kids who have profiles, if they make a couple of defensive plays, even if they're just routine, but they show good action, show a strong arm, we'll clip those together and throw those on their profile as well. So we're trying to really take care of the people that are using this and make sure that it becomes a tool that's very valuable for them. So that all depends on if we have the right video guy and all that. But I know, like when I was out at high school games, I would clip together videos at the end and post them to the profiles. So you would have some defensive highlight, just blocking if it's catching, a couple of ground balls for the shortstop, an outfielder that ran some balls down. Not something that rises to the level of something we would post, but clipped together could be useful for a school. We'll throw that on there as well.
Hey, Brooks, can you go to Sean Yamaguchi and kind of show them how we're housing the information where we can do the year over year on their metrics?
Yeah, I hit that one earlier. I showed them its profile and showed them the metrics.
But the deal there about that's a snapshot in time, you did cover that.
Yes.
Year over year.
Correct.
Okay. All right.
Correct. And, like I mentioned earlier, anytime a player gets written about by Dustin or Drew or whoever on our staff is writing articles, those will get housed here as well. So anytime that I think we can't think of any way where we've highlighted these players that does not get displayed on this page. And that's really the goal, is to make sure that every time a player's doing something good, we get it on this page. So when it's sent to a college, they're seeing it all in one spot.
Well, I think that's about it. In the chat, I'm going to type my email address in there again real quick, so you guys can write that down before we end. If you have any questions, Brooks, his is very similar, just a different name.
Yeah, mine's in there as well at the top. And I just really appreciate you guys' time. I mean, we've spent a lot of time on this and we're very excited about it. And I'm just happy to answer any questions you guys have. We want this to be, and I think uniquely for the 12, this is going to be such a great tool because, you know, we're going to be covering your 12 versus 12 games this summer. You'll obviously already playing in a lot of our stuff. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for videos in addition to, you know, the high school coverage and things like that we do. So I think this will be just a great tool for you guys and really excited to see what these profiles look like as the summer progresses. And I see that unable to find my player to claim. Shoot me an email at brooks@5tool.org and I'll with the name and I'll find where he's at for you.
Well, guys, we thank you so much for your time. Like I said, you've got our email addresses. If you have any questions, you know, my apologies for not understanding the limitations of Zoom because it shut this thing down at 100. So anyway, but I do have it recorded. We'll share it with the club and you guys feel free to reach out if you have any questions and appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you guys this summer.
Thanks, everybody.